So I have a punishment to perform this time, and I guess I should just go ahead and get it out of the way. Prepare to, I hesitate to say be entertained, perhaps be positively frightened.
Jonathan is very sorry. Look at him fall to his knees in anguish. Those are really big tears. Oh, how to make it up to Suzannah. How to make it up to the internet. Jonathan would distribute his own kidneys to the cause if he thought it would help. But alas, this would be but a poor token of sorrow barely worth sneezing at. So instead, Jonathan will show his remorse with the gift of ending this interpretive dance.
Yep. I won't be running over again anytime soon. Moving on. So, Suzannah, you also broke a rule. You published your video 5 days late. So you also have a punishment. Your punishment, I believe, is very fitting. We previously set up that every video we would have to have at least one pun. Well, your next video has to have not one, not two, but 15 puns in it. So, you better get your puns in for your punishment. Now I realize that because of this 5-day lateness, she only has 1 day after I post this video to create her own video, which is completely unreasonable. So to avoid any further punishments, I'm going to give Suzannah a 2-day extension. So she has through Monday to post her videos. Now I loved the story that you told in your last video, and I recall it very vividly. But for me, the awkwardness of that night did not end when you shut that door. So with my turn at the helm, I would like to finish that tale. First, I would like to call you out on the last part of the story. Now, you ended the story with, I know of a girl who would volunteer to be your Kaylee, and then you shutting the door, and that being the end of the story. But you left out 2 crucial statements that happened directly after that. The first statement was mine, when I said, who? And then your response to that, which was, Steven, help me out here. Now, one thing you should probably know about Steven is that he's the kind of person that a lot of people confide in. Partially because he's actually really good at keeping confidential information confidential. Now, one of the people who had confided in him was his debate partner, Suzannah. And the things that she had confided to him were actually the nature of her feelings towards me. Now, when Suzannah had requested Steven's help in the situation, she thought of it as her giving him permission to tell me. Steven, however, took it another way. What Steven had taken away from that encounter was that Suzannah had asked him to help her, but had also not given him explicit permission to breach confidentiality. This led to a very awkward car ride home, which made Steven feel a lot like Suzannah had sort of thrown him in front of a bus, and made me feel a lot like a Nazi interrogator. What followed were a lot of questions from me about what she meant, and him diverting the conversation. I was worried that when Suzannah said that she knew a girl who would volunteer to be my Kaylee, that she was trying to set me up with someone else. Now, who this someone else might be, I had no idea. The reason that this worried me was because I couldn't think of anyone I knew that I would rather volunteer to be my Kaylee than Suzannah. So I was wildly interrogating Stephen in an attempt to discover if I was somehow being friend-zoned by Suzannah by her trying to set me up with another girl. Now the car ride back from where Suzannah was staying lasted 45 minutes, but thankfully for Stephen, he actually succeeded in changing the subject, and we ended up bonding quite a bit. The night ended with me finally deciding to go to the source and figure out from Suzannah what she actually meant. Finally, I got answers to my questions, but only after a few days of her being dodgy about it. And that's the end of that night's tale. Comment your favorite interrogation techniques below. And Suzannah, the helm is yours.